2020 has been pretty difficult for the lot of us, and the wealthiest have not been spared from this suffering. Although the struggles they went through were quite different from the common lot, they were still greatly affected by the global health situation and had to deal with declining sales and investments, among other issues. So for today, we'll be discussing who are the richest men and how they spend their money. A lot of them made money from investments, others through technological innovations, and some through buying stocks and inheritance. But they still managed their finances and assets well enough to be included in Forbes' list of wealthiest men in the world. Elon Musk. Starting off this list is Elon Musk, the co-founder and CEO of the American electric vehicle and clean energy Tesla Inc., and the co-founder of electronic payment firm PayPal. In recent years, he's been overtaken by fellow billionaire Jeff Bezos in the title of the richest man in the world. But Musk currently holds the title with a net worth of $197 billion. Not only is he the CEO of Tesla, but of 3 other companies as well, namely SpaceX, Neuralink, and The Boring Company, of which the latter 2 he also established. Musk is also a native of South Africa, moved to Canada when he was 17 and attended Queen's University, but shortly after transferred to the University of Pennsylvania, where he attained his dual bachelor's degree in physics and economics. He went on to pursue a PhD in applied physics and material sciences at Stanford University, but dropped out shortly after to launch Zip2, a company that provided and licensed online city guide software to newspapers. The proceeds from this business venture were then used to create X.com, which is now known as PayPal. Aside from Tesla and his companies, Musk is also involved in real estate and has been working on owning no house and ridding himself of almost all of his physical possessions. He listed several properties on Zillow, even a previous home that once belonged to Gene Wilder. He is also given to charity and is also a signatory of the Giving Pledge. Jeff Bezos. Amazon's founder Jeff Bezos is also included on this list and was even hailed as the richest man in the world. Forbes listed him as the first person in history to have a net worth that exceeded $200 billion, and he is also a centibillionaire and the second richest person in the world after Elon Musk since January 2021. A trained electronics and computer engineer, he worked in Wall Street and also at D.E. Shaw before resigning and starting Amazon in his garage back in 1994. Originally meant to sell books, it soon grew and catered into an array of products and services that are known today. Aside from Amazon, his other projects include the aerospace company called Blue Origin and the Clock of the Long Now, or the 10,000-year clock that is constructed to keep time for 10,000 years. Bezos also acquired the Washington Post back in 2013, and this billionaire has a current net worth of $187 billion. In February 2020, he shared a post on his Instagram page announcing his pledge of $10 billion to fight climate change and also promised to allocate $100 million to food banks back in April 2020. Bill Gates. Next on the list is Microsoft Corp co-founder Bill Gates, with a net worth of $132 billion. This business magnate and software developer was once the CEO, chairman, president, and chief software architect of Microsoft until he retired in May 2014. He co-founded Microsoft with his childhood friend, Paul Allen, back in 1975, and from there it became the world's largest personal computer software company. Since 2006, he focused more of his efforts on the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and transitioned to a part-time role in Microsoft. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation was originally a separate foundation between William H. Gates Foundation and the Gates Learning Foundation, of which husband and wife both serve as co-chairs. The foundation is focused on giving people help for a healthy life and giving them the chance to lift themselves out of hunger and extreme poverty. In 2010, he co-founded the Giving Pledge with Warren Buffett to encourage fellow rich individuals to commit to donating to charity. In 2014, he pledged $50 million to help fight Ebola, and lately, in 2020, he spent $300 million to combat the global health situation. Bernard Arnault. French billionaire, media proprietor, and art collector Bernard Jean-Etienne Arnault are also one of the richest people in the world. This businessman is the chief executive and chairman of LVMH Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton SE, the world's largest luxury goods company. He became the richest person in the fashion industry before amassing his great wealth. He worked as an engineer in his father's construction firm, Ferret Savenel, which he took over in 1971, then later turned into a real estate company called Farinel Inc. in 1979. Compared to the others in this list, Arnault has lost the most during the global health situation, with losses amounting to $30 billion with the shares of Tiffany & Co. and Louis Vuitton shares having gone down more than 17%. When the Notre Dame Cathedral caught fire in April 2019, Arnault and his family pledged $200 million to help repair the structure. His other investments include a variety of web companies such as Boo.com, Liberty Surf, and ZBank. Through his holding, Europa T Web. From 1998 to 2001, Group Arnault also invested in Netflix in 1999. In 2007, Blue Capital announced that Arnault owned it jointly with the California property firm Colony Capital, 10.69% of France's largest supermarket retailer and world's second largest food distributor, Carrefour. Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg first made the headlines when, at the age of 23, he became the world's youngest self-made billionaire, thanks to the successful launch of Facebook. Back in 2004, Zuckerberg and his fellow students, Eduardo Saverin, Chris Hughes, and Dustin Moskowitz, initially developed Facebook, and upon its successful release, propelled him to great fame and wealth. Although no longer using the application, he's a controlling shareholder, chief executive officer, and chairman of Facebook. Like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, he is also a signatory of the Giving Pledge, which he became a part of in 2010. He and his wife, Priscilla Chan, announced that they will donate to charity half of their wealth to advancing human potential and promoting equality. On December 19, 2013, Zuckerberg announced a donation of 18 million Facebook shares to the Silicon Valley Community Foundation to be executed by the end of the month. Based on Facebook's valuation as of then, the shares totaled $990 million in value. He and his wife also established the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, an organization with a primary focus on health and education. Zhang Shanshan, with a net worth of $89.3 billion, Zhang Shanshan made most of his fortune in the beverage industry that later on expanded to cater to other food products. Shanshan previously worked as a construction worker before shifting to being a reporter during the 1980s. Later on, he became a beverage sales assistant agent, and soon after, he founded his own bottled water distribution business in Hainan. In 1993, he founded his first business called Yangsheng Tang, which is a health product company, and founded Nongfu Spring 3 years later. In 1996, Nongfu Spring is a bottled water manufacturer that expanded to serve other food products, and by 2012, it became the largest bottled water company throughout China. Aside from doing investments in his company, Shangshan also acquired in 2001 a majority stake in the company Wantai, China's largest infectious disease diagnostics. Warren Buffett, the Giving Pledge co-founder and the most famous living value investor, has a net worth of $85.6 billion. A well-known philanthropist, he is also a business magnate, investor, and chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, a multinational conglomerate holding company based in Omaha, Nebraska. He was ranked as the richest person in the world by Forbes back in 2008, but donated the majority of his wealth to the charity, which made him the second richest person in the US, after Bill Gates. In an interview back in 2008, he expressed that none of his children will inherit his massive wealth, declaring, "I want to give my kids just enough so that they would feel like they could do anything, but not so much that they would feel like doing nothing." This Oracle of Omaha has pledged to give away 99% of his fortune to charity cases, most especially to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and in 2006, he pledged about the equivalent of 10 million Berkshire Hathaway Class B shares that are worth approximately $30.7 billion in the foundation. Larry Page, internet entrepreneur and computer scientist Lawrence Edward Page, is also among the list of richest men. Best known for creating Google with Sergey Brin, he has a current net worth of $80.4 billion according to Forbes. Like Zuckerberg and Gates, Page's shot to fame was conceived during his college days, while still attending university at Stanford. Page and Brin came up with the idea of improving data extraction capabilities while accessing the internet. The idea brought forth Backrub, a new type of search engine technology that derived its name from its ability to analyze backing links. From here, the duo created Google in 1998, with Page serving as a CEO until his retirement in 2001. Aside from Google, Page is also a founding investor of a space exploration and asteroid mining company called Planetary Resources. He's also invested in Kitty Hawk, a company that builds electric flight transportation solutions to free people from traffic, and Opener, a flying car startup company. Steve Ballmer, known as the former CEO of Microsoft from 2000 to 2014, Ballmer is also the current owner of NBA's Los Angeles Clippers and has a net worth of $77.9 billion. He was hired hired by Gates in 1980 and eventually held the position of president in 1998 and became Microsoft's CEO in 2000. He became a billionaire through stock options received as an employee of a corporation in which he was neither a founder nor a relative of a founder. In 2014, he and his wife donated $50 million to his college alma mater, University of Oregon, which went to the university's fundraising effort and will focus on scholarships, public health research and advocacy, and external branding communications. He also gifted Harvard's computer science department an estimated $60 million that would allow the department to hire new faculty and hopefully increase the national stature of the program. Sergey Brin, the co-founder of Google along with Page, his path to amassing wealth is similar to Page's, and after Google's establishment, he served as its co-president until he stepped down in 2001 and turned it over to Eric Schmidt. Brin and Page also established Alphabet Inc., an American multinational conglomerate headquartered in Mountain View, California, which was created through a restructuring of Google on October 2, 2015, and became the parent company of Google and several former Google subsidiaries. He also acted as the company's president before finally stepping down in 2019. Sundar Pichai took over as CEO. Brin was highly invested in Alphabet's Moonshot Research Laboratory, which is responsible for innovative technologies like the Waymo self-driving cars and Google Glass smart glasses. Aside from Moonshot, he also partnered with the Michael J. Fox Foundation's research in finding a cure for Parkinson's disease. He donated millions of dollars, which made him one of the biggest contributors to the genetic disease. And that concludes the list of richest men and how they spend their money. If you would like more of this content, please click like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.